Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Megaman ZX. In the last part we accessed Area G, which is in trouble, and now we're going to continue on and finish off this mission.
It's so hot and scary. Where are Mommy and Daddy? I want to see Mommy and Daddy. I want to go home.
No, child, you shall soon meet them again. Admittedly, the rest of Area G is more of the same that we've seen before. I do like the gimmick of having to rescue people, but at the same time, it kind of wears out its welcome.
I sprained my ankle and fell behind. I was right, I wouldn't make it out of here alive since I couldn't move. I'm so lucky you came along when you did. Please, take this.
Hell yeah, I need that health. Also, I know I mentioned it before, but I love this soundtrack. This song is really good. Anyway, going into my experience with Mega Man ZX, when I first played it and such, I came to both ZX games really late. Like, I think ZX Advent was already 2 or 3 years old by the time I picked up both of them. And they were games that I had issues with at first because I just wasn't used to the playstyle, but I grew to love them really quickly. Did you come to help us? Thank you. I think someone is controlling the Mavericks. This fire is all his fault. He should be at the top of this building, getting ready to head over to the next one. You've got to teach him that if you play with fire, you get burned. Okay. Though I have one distinct memory of ZX1 in particular. This was actually before I bought either game. There was this Chinese place that used to be about 5 minutes away from us named Fred's. Really good place. It's sadly closed due to some real estate stuff going around there in that area, though. But, well, first let's see what this guy has to say.
Who are you? Did you come to save us? As you can see, this room is covered in smoke. Some of the people escaped through the windows. They might still be waiting for help on the other side.
As I was saying, before I had to go smoker for a moment there, I forget if this newspaper is a nationwide one or if it's just in our area, but there was one called The Phoenix. And I distinctly remember picking up a copy of at the time, I think it was like a week behind's Phoenix at Fred's. And they actually had a game review of ZX. And I remember looking upon the game, like, it was okay at best. Like, they said they liked a lot about it, but they also disliked some things about it. Which, honestly, not entirely inaccurate, even though I'm more towards the, yeah, it's really good kind of club with this game, because I will definitely say it has issues. Though, mind you, ZX1 as well, I have some baggage with because I didn't play it first. I said I picked up both games around the same time, and I did, but I picked up ZX Advent first and beat it before I picked up ZX1. So, I already had a taste of its refinements of the ZX formula, so, had some extra baggage going into ZX1. Which, we all have games like that, I suppose. Oh, and I don't know why it just popped into my head, but seeing the main mooks here, just reminded me. I know I said earlier in, like, part 2 that I forgot the name of the blue guys from the Zero series. They're Pantheons. The reason I say that is because I always get confused on which one is which with this series. Because these guys, the main mooks here, look very similar to the variants from 04, but their actual name is Galleons, if I recall correctly. Either way, we're in the final section of the level here, nothing too bad. It's basically just a repeat of the first third of the stage. One thing I do recommend, though, is that I don't do it here. If your Model HX's weapon energy gauge is not full, get it to full, because it's going to come in handy during the boss fight, especially if we're getting a level 4 victory. Either way, let's get Model HX on and head into the boss room. And there's those stutterings again. It's going to be happening every now and then. I'm going to say that right now. Where is he? Oh, there you are.
Ah, the Guardian's Megaman has arrived. To think their great hero would just be a little girl. But I suppose if the Mavericks have chosen you, then you must be the one.
Mavericks choosing me? What are you talking about?
The Mavericks were not causing all of that trouble just for fun, you know. They were trying to locate the perfect vessel for Model W. It's all tied into the holders of the biometal. The chosen ones, the Megamen. You. After all, you survived the Maverick raid those many years ago.
Are you trying to say the Mavericks let me live? That can't be!
Ah, it appears you're not willing to accept the truth. It doesn't matter. Model W will have the sacrifice it requires. The name is Fistleo. I'm the Model F Pseudoroid. If you do not accept your destiny, then you will have to accept your end.
Fistleo is annoying in both getting a level 4 victory and in terms of normal fight, because he's one of the few bosses in the game that can heal himself. He does that with a little, like, charging move he has. But let's talk about getting a level 4 victory with him, and I can actually segue this better with Model HX's specialty. You see, all of the biometals that aren't ZX and X in the game have something that actually shows up on the bottom screen, like you're seeing right now on the right there. In the case of Model HX, it'll show you an enemy life bar, which is more useful for actually normal enemies. And in the case of bosses, a red spot on their sprite. That red spot is their weak spot. In this case, it's Fistleo's head. And hitting his head is very easy to do. The way you want to go about actually fighting him is letting him jump around enough to the point where he's not right up against a wall, and activating your overdrive and hitting him normally from behind, like so. That will add an electric element to your attack, doing extra damage to him, and you'll also avoid hitting his head. This fight is annoying without Model HX or the overdrive.
How could this happen? I was transformed into a Pseudoroid. I was supposed to have the power of a god. But I was beaten by a little girl?
Suck it, asshat. Fistleo, though, not fond of that fight at all.
Yahoo! Thanks for saving me. I'm the biometal of the flame, Model F. Let's get a move on. Who are we gonna take down next?
Wait, I haven't even explained anything yet.
I know. Serpent's up to something sneaky with that Model W. It's all so complicated. I don't really know what's going on. I just know that he used my power to do his dirty work. If you're out for payback, I'm your model. Got a problem with that?
Well, no.
Oh, the password. Sorry, but I can't give the whole thing to you yet. Serpent split my power down the middle, and the other part is with another Pseudoroid. If you can take that one down, I can give you the password.
If the voice wasn't obvious enough, Model FX is based off of Fafnir from the Zero series. And Fafnir is awesome, actually, because you can fire in a lot of directions, a lot of power beneath him, and he has another special gimmick. On the pause screen, you can tap on the bottom screen and select a path for either the bullets from your left or right arm. You can go in basically any direction with this. I tend to make it go in a bit of a higher or lower kind of pattern, because then I can generally hit enemies slightly higher than me or slightly lower than me. But you can do a lot of things with this. It gets ridiculous. I love this model. It's very powerhouse heavy, and I think its charge shot might do the most damage against normal enemies in the game. Also notable, its charge shot when you have weapon energy will fire out a fire burst that can destroy certain blocks. And with that, that's mission 2 done of 8. Well, the main 8 at least. And we also get a red card key. With that, though, we could head on to our next mission, but I actually want to head back to Guardian HQ for 2, technically 3 things. The first one's very minor. All the Guardian members you rescued here in Area G are actually now in Guardian HQ, and you can talk to them for some dialogue, but it's not really worth it. Where I want to go is this first room on the second floor, which is the warehouse. Carolet is in here. And his first dialogue thing isn't going to be anything important, but the second one is. I have something to tell you. Anguiel finally finished the chip I requested. It's called an eraser chip, and it allows you to destroy enemy shots with your saber. You could put it to better use than I ever could. Please, take it. And just like the eraser form, we get an eraser chip. The way chips work is that you can equip one at a time from the item menu here on the right. The eraser chip, as he said, allows you to destroy enemy shots with a saber, but it's not just the ZX saber. HX's saber will do it as well. And the second one is an ale exclusive. We want to head to the final door here on the 3rd floor. This lady's here now that we've done Area G. Let's talk to her as a human. Her first few dialogue options are completely throwaway stuff, but on the 3rd time we talk to her, we get something interesting. Really, you shouldn't wear the same clothes every day. Would you like me to come up with an outfit for you? Sure. I knew you'd see it my way. How do you like this? I'm suddenly Prairie. Ale gets, I think, 7 alternative outfits here from Luca. A yellow shoes with jacket with dark red hair, teal shoes and jacket with pink hair, pink shoes and jacket with blonde hair, silver shoes and jacket with chestnut hair, pink shoes and jacket with brown hair, purple shoes and jacket with red hair, and green shoes and jacket with orange hair. I am a fan of the classic blue and brown, though, because, come on, it's rock. But that's a nice little thing you can do there. With that, though, let's head on to our next mission. We want to go find the survivors. I've detected a distress call coming from Area F. There are Maverick and biometal signatures in close proximity. Whoever sent the distress call is being pinned down by the Mavericks. It's likely that they're innocent civilians trying to flee. Head to Area F and rescue those people. Secure the biometal while you're at it. Alright, let's take that. And you might be wondering, okay, where's Area F? Your first instinct might be to think, after Area E. Nope. The closest way to get there is through the B2 Mountain Pass Transerver. Why? The gate to Area F is way back here in B1. We crossed this area when we were playing as Plane Model X trying to find Zero. And I think you could theoretically get up to this door as Plane Model X, but you can't do anything in it until you have Z or HX. Why? Because you need to slash this. Plane Model X can't do anything that will attack above them. So you need to come over here once you get ZX or later. FX can obviously just shoot directly up at it. And this took me a while to find my first playthrough. Not the longest. Area, I won't say what specific area yet, but one area in particular took me way longer to find. For better or worse. And I will say, what we're coming up on is probably not my least favorite area in the game, but it's one of them. Why? Well, take a look at the background. It's a nice tundra, and oh god, the floor is starting to look kind of snowed up. It's a nice level. The distress call definitely came from this area. The signal's too weak to pinpoint the exact location. I guess it's up to me to find it then. I'll check further back. I will say, though, absolutely love this track. I'll say that a lot, though, in this game. Despite it being an ice level stage, though, it's nothing too bad. I do recommend getting H and FX before coming here, though, for a certain item we'll get later on. Also, fun fact, these shielded enemies, the charge shot of Model FX will completely knock them off the ground and they'll explode upon contact with something else. And I find that hilarious. And we just saw some ice blocks there. Well, there's two types of blocks in this stage. The little purple ones, which you can destroy with normal attacks, and the ice blocks. The ice blocks can only be destroyed with either Model FX's charge shot, be it the normal punch or the punch with the fire. Those ice blocks are actually one of the reasons that I came here after getting Model FX. Because in this room, there's something particular we can get. We got to change over the FX, and we want to head down here to destroy some stuff. Nice. After destroying the second set, we come to a bit of an open ocean area. And we actually need Model HX here as well because there are some spikes we need to fly over with him. Well, with it, because we're AL right now. However, doing these two things in tandem will allow you to get our second of 4 life ups. If you didn't have FX or HX, you could not get this, I believe, unless you did like some weird shit. Since I don't want to do some weird shit, though, I just did levels in this order. It's also one of the few times I think you need to do stages in a certain order to get things on the first try. Because I'm thinking through, the rest of the time where there's major items like that in the stage, you can get them first shot no matter what, I believe, unless I'm forgetting one. Underwater, by the way, works as you'd think. Hello? Is anyone here? I've come to help. No one's around. The source of the signal is definitely coming from your position. The device emitting the signal should be close. Try to locate it. The water in this area, plain and simple, works like the rest of Megaman water. You're slowed down, but you jump higher. Stuff is fun. I like it. Water levels are actually really fun to me in the Mega Man games, except for that one bit of Iceman stage in Mega Man 1 because you don't have water physics going on. I know I called it an ice level, but it really is only an aesthetic in this stage at least. The ice blocks you can obviously slip on, but that only really comes into play 2, maybe 3 times. It's overall not a very bad level. In fact, I have taken on this level first and had no issue, other than not being able to get the life up. But, you know, I guess every route has some issues. Like, I can't think of a single Mega Man game where you can get everything, at least in the X series onwards, where there's actually stuff to collect in one run through without having to revisit stages. In fact, I think I don't think there's even a single game that does that. So, yeah, look at that. Well, I guess aside from the RPG, but that's because it's the RPG. Either way, we need to climb this giant-ass room because the other door that we saw immediately at the start is locked. However, this one at the top isn't. Oh, hey, you again! This spike wheel mini-boss is a bit different, though, this time around, because he's not trying to run into us, he's trying to ram us into him using the conveyor belts. The gun is basically a non-threat here, because his big threat is obviously his little spike mace thing, which can do a shitload of damage in a row. The lower on HP, the faster this thing revs the conveyor belt beneath us. So at this point in the fight, it's just safest to hug the wall, shooting the occasional charge shot. Overall, nothing too important or interesting, but I guess I like how they managed to make the fight different enough. Unlike, say, those dragon bosses in Mega Man 04, which I still am not fond of. Prairie, I'm near that terminal that was sending out the distress call. But I don't see anyone around. What? I wonder what could have happened there. Huh. Looks like there's a data disk still in the terminal. I don't have much longer. I pray that this data doesn't fall into the wrong hands. The recon unit has unearthed a strange metal in this area. It seems conscious. The commander called it Biometal Model W. We continued to research it, until one day when we were just about ready to give up. One of our own went mad and destroyed our unit. He erased the research data and vanished with the biometal. His name was Serpent, and he was always the most passionate about our research into the Model W fragment. I will attempt to record what little is known about the cause of his insanity below. This is where the data ends. Sis, this is a report from the first commander's recon unit. The distress call must have been activated to make sure someone would find this data. But the recon unit is gone. Prairie. Serpent was a member of the Guardians? I didn't know either. There was nothing about that in the HQ database. Slither Incorporated might have the other half of the data. Prairie, where's that enemy biometal signature? I'm reading the biometal signature just beyond the locked door. We'll hack the lock from Guardian HQ. Thanks, Prairie. Notable, in the Vent playthrough, you don't get that bit about Serpent there. It talks more about the process of the biometal itself. Also, was it just me or was the silhouette of the commander in the front line there, the foreground in that cutscene, a little familiar looking to Zero players? More on that later. How later? Probably the credits. Either way, with that, we need to head back to the bottom of this room and head back to that locked door we saw earlier. However, with that, I believe I'm also going to be ending this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 6 we'll be finishing off Area F and seeing what biometal and boss awaits us at the end of it. See you guys then.